Husky's Crypto Cave here, and today's video is going to review the January profitability and how the month went. Not a whole lot of changes really as far as to the farm as what I did. It is the first full month of the L9 being up and running, and the only other really thing that happened is my one pre-search node expired right at the end of December on the first of the year, something like that. So I did not renew that, just rolled those tokens over into the Raspberry Pi that I have here running at home, just because that was essentially free, quote unquote, to run, kind of. Barely uses any power or so. And I believe the other two nodes expire in March, so I think it's March 1st actually is when they expire, so they will not be renewed either. And then those pre-search tokens will just get added to the staking on the Pi as well. I did renew one of my Neoxid nodes that did expire, and funny thing, I actually had to restart it because I didn't get into node orbits and do the renewal right away, and it expired, so then it shut down, and then I had to go back in and reset it up and stuff. And basically had I think it was Crypto Jar, I think is the guy that did the videos on those. He did a very good video as far as setting up a Neoxid node, and I had to watch that again and get that all set up just to get that back up and running, because even though as shitty as things are going with Neoxid as far as price point, they're still profitable. The nodes cost me $6 to run, and pretty much every 2.5 days or so, they're getting paid out $1, $1.22, $1.25, depending on the price, but $1.50 there. Currently, we're actually, let me do a refresh. I haven't done this lately. Actually, we'll save that for later. Just when we get to the income statement stuff, I'll do the refresh with the API call. But as of right now, $72 for all the node income, $84 to $72 depending on what you're looking at, as far as when it was mined, what the current value is, so on and so forth. But basically, the $44 a month is what all the nodes, the two pre-search nodes, the Neoxid nodes, and the Flux node is what it costs me to run every month. So anywhere from $40 to $32 to $40 profit a month, which isn't much, but it is what it is. So still profitable. But as far as what I mined for the month, it's pretty much the same as last month, except for Aleo. At the beginning of the month, I was on Aleo and some Zealous, and I did switch off of Zealous to Ergo on most of the rigs. That's actually, most of the rigs are still on. I did shut down the 3080s because they are the worst performing ones as far as efficiency on Ergo. So I did shut them off on Friday night. I didn't go through and shut everything else down yet, just because I am close to a payout on Mineable for Solana, so I just need to get that up to 0.05, then I can make a payout there, then I'll shut that rig down, and then gradually just probably turn off the 3060 Ti's and 3070s, maybe leave the CMP card rigs on, just because even overnight, last night to this morning, crypto prices tanked even more. We can even hop over to CoinGecko. A lot of stuff like Bitcoin's down 4.5, Ethereum's back under $3,000. Solana is just barely over 200. Doge is under 30 cents. Cardano's back in the 80-cent range. Let's see where. Let's get an idea where CASP is at. CASP is down 7% They're back under 12 cents. So, yeah, not looking good. Ergo's down 8%. So yeah, sometime overnight there was a little tankarooski. So yeah, down to $1.27. Ouch. So yeah, not looking good as far as profitability, and it's definitely not getting better. So I'm gonna go through today and shut some stuff down, and we'll have it at the ready to turn it back on if we need to turn it back on. But that part is what it is. It's just the market that we're in right now. So let's get back over to January, see how things are going as far as that goes. Go through here. Total depin income for the month, roughly around $380 to $413. Total revenue for the month was $3,086.23, which is the highest it's been in a long time. That's mostly because the L9 it accounts for just about like half of that, if not more. So that is where most of that came from. And it says capital gains negative 346. That's a little skewed because there's no current value in for Telest II because I can't there's no API call to pull the price on CoinGecko. So I've been just kind of pulling the coin price off of Live Coin Watch. They do have an API I might be able to access, but I didn't really get into messing around with that, and I was like, we'll just leave it go the way it is. So, if anything, I could manually go over in a coin prices tab, and whenever I want to do an update, I could just make a column here for it and just, hey, Telestai AI current price is whatever it is. So, I'll worry about that later. But because actually there are some changes I'm going to have to be doing to the spreadsheet just for Helium Mobile, because Helium Mobile now is paying out HNT and not Helium Mobile tokens anymore, and IoT tokens. Those are going away. So basically everything's going to be paid out in HNT. So I have to add that HNT to the current prices tab. And do I have? Yeah, I have Helium Mobile there, but I don't have the IoT in there. So I'll have to make those adjustments and get those prices pulled in there so I can do that. But the first payment from Helium reflecting that is going to be, actually was pretty much last night, because every Saturday is when I make those claims. So, but as far as, let's go through and see what we mine for the month. Get a little zoom in here. So as far as lithium, pretty much just received one lithium payment from my AL0 for 10 lithium. It's getting close to a second one. I guess it's probably within the next day or two I'll get a payout. But that will be in the month of February. And then the BTC payouts from the miners, I've been just taking those once a month, pretty much right in the last day of the month. Right around 8:30 or so at night, take the payout from via BTC. And then I sent this payout to the Tangem. Mined 4,000 Doge for the month for a total of $1,400. You see 45% of the income for the month, or revenue I should say, not income. 138 DIMO. Which actually reminds me, I need to start the super today to get that qualified for this week for $19. 900,000 Bugna. Still have the KS zeros on that. I might switch them to another shitcoin and K heavy hash, just because they probably have about 3.5 million Bugna. That's probably enough of that shitcoin. But I just kind of let it go and haven't done anything with them. 51 Flux for the month, $29. That's pretty much just breaking even, not taking into account the parallel assets. So parallel assets I'm going to claim them maybe once a year, if not, just because you get destroyed in fees. So I'm going to let the parallel assets accumulate. So that's Flux node's about breaking even, to making 94 cents, because the node cost me $28 a month to run. So it's basically 94 cents plus the parallel assets. 227 Ergo for the month for $379. 13, just under 14 Zealous for 88, 20 Cardano for $20, 45,000 Nyaxa for $30 basically. So those nodes cost me 12 to run, so it's still doubling the money each month. Not bad when you look at it that way. 100% return on your investment each month, not counting the initial investment of the 1 million Nyaxa, but as far as the monthly investment. So, 20 Octaspace for $20, Litecoin 0.4 Litecoin for 45, so basically 1457 revenue from the L9 for the month. 0 Raven Coin, 706 Geonet for 213, 0.08 Chia for a whopping $1.78, yeehaw, and 0.3 Solana for $65, and then that was pretty much one 3060 Ti rig that is mining, was Zealous, now it's Ergo, too unmineable to get swapped right away into Solana. That's where that's coming from. I did have claimed 1,000 Zilliqa on the staking platforms for $23. That will happen every couple months. And then 300 pre-search for a whopping $3. And at $2 a node, that doesn't even cover the 2 that are running right now. So you can see why I'm just going to let them expire. And then it's just going to be pretty much just stacking the pre, and for, I mean, what does a Raspberry Pi use for power? 2 watts, something like that. So, and then it looks like 20,000 Radiant for $13. Just under 175,000 Helium Mobile for 151, and then 36,000 Telestai AI for 187. 30 Warthog for $18. Just under 1 Varus for basically just under 5. 8 LAO in a month for $6. So that's where we got the total there. Total everything up, we're $3,086.23 as far as current revenue for the month. So we got to look at electricity for the month. Was a little bit surprising when I went through the bill. It actually ended at 15.68 kilowatts. PP&L also increased their distribution prices for 2025. Not a ton, but it went from like 4.72 cents to 4.86 cents. So that doesn't accumulate for that. But then their normal power rate was 10.7 something. So yeah, ended up about just 15 and a half. So even higher than what I was estimating at about 14 to 14 and a half cents for the month. So yeah, got shellacked on power. So I spent $2,069 on power for mining operations for the month, which was a lot. So new power rate did take effect on the 28th, 29th of January, something like that. Don't remember exactly what it was, but it was right at the end of January is that one. And it does show in PP&L when I log in, whereas that SFE Energy, it must have just going through reviewing all my bills and stuff like that. It basically, SFE was active for a day and then shut off right away. It's bastards. So anyway, so let's pop over to income statement. I gotta zoom out. That should be all right. All right. So mining income for the month. At the time it was mine. Let's give this a refresh. This is the one we're going to give a refresh. Because this one's we're going to probably change. It's showing $368 of profit right here for current value. That number is going down. That number went down a lot. Holy shit. Yeah. So pretty much break even of current value for last month. So all the profit to the L9 gone. And that's what that looks like essentially right there. Granted, there is some till SDI, so there might be another $150 in there or whatever. But yeah, pretty much wiped out just from capital loss. If I would sell, but anyway, mining revenue for the month was $26,1793. Node income $84.48. DPIN was $383. Like I said, electric was $2,069. $44 is the nodes, and then tariff for the month was $257.11, which leaves a profit of $715. So if you look back here, that $1,400 minus the $257 or so you're left at like $150-ish ballpark, or $1,150. $400 of that profit was eaten up by losses on me mining other shit. So that's the way that plays out. So not good. So I'm not gonna be doing that all the time. I got the L9 to make money, not lose. So that's why we're gonna start shutting some shit down. And then here's current value of current mining stuff is $1,900. So there's a $700 swing right there. Node income's $21, but on a percentage basis, that's about a 25% drop. DPIN actually still up from 383 to 408. A lot of that is primarily Geonet, because Geonet's been doing fantastic. So definitely that is by far my best performing DPIN miner. I'm not into a whole lot of DPIN miners anyway. It's pretty much Geodnet and Helium's, but it's by far doing really, really well. Helium, I really can't complain about the Helium either. Their devices paid themselves off. They're working on paying themselves off a second time if they needed to, where the Geodnet miner is already working on its third time. So, yeah, Geodnet has been a great investment. I wish I probably would have jumped on that once. I remember DJ Mines talking about it. He had it set up on a toilet or something goofy, and basically had his running that way. And I should have jumped on one then, but I didn't order mine until like April or May of last year. Received it, got it up and running in August. So that pretty much it's been up for 181 days, so just over 6 months, and 209% return current value. Worth about $1,348. So yeah, that one has done well. Definitely not complaining about that one. So that's where we are sitting. This is kind of interesting. Let me see where this. It's less than. It's definitely not going to be worth $187. So you can just see if it's say 120, or even 100, whatever it is, because it did good. It has gone down in value. Yeah, it was at almost. Well, it's probably close to cut in half because the most recent ones were 0.0033. So yeah, it's down about 50%. So even say if that is $90, so we're still basically profit for the month was only 123 at current value. So yeah, no good, no bueno. But yeah, I'm gonna go through today and shut some other stuff down just so we're not just burning electricity. You know, now my power rate's substantially lower, but it is probably about 30% lower than what it was last month. But there's going to be a little bit of a transition period because the way my billing cycle ends near the middle of the month. So there was about 10 days or so on the old rate, and then the rest of it's going to be on the new rate. So next month's bill is going to be a little wonky, and then the following one will be all at the new 100% of the month on the new power rate. So we'll see that at the end of this month for February's profitability video. But yeah, that's where we are sitting. We've currently been recording for about 16 minutes or so. So we're going to wrap this one up. But pretty much depin and the L9 carried the month. So pretty much most of the profits from the L9 were pretty much eaten up by the other shit. So, and then same thing with depin. Yeah. Not good. So yeah, we're going to start powering some stuff down. Hop over, like I said, I already powered them down. That is the 4070 Warthog rig. I'll leave that. That's in the basement. That's providing heat. These are providing heat. This one's providing heat. This is in the shed. That's in the shed. Shed. Yeah, pretty much everything else is in the shed. Because the other two rigs that are in the house are still on Hive OS. So those two will stay on. That's the 3070 Ti's and a 1660 Ti's. So pretty much everything from here down. I may leave these just on the CMP cars because they are the more efficient ones. Just leave them spec mining. I'll pay out of pocket to run them, but I'll turn off all the 3070s and 3060 Ti's, I believe, once this guy hits the payout. So once that gets to enough, then I'll just probably shut everything down. So that is where we stand. So not looking good for the most part. I mean, the revenue was great for the month, but just burning away, and just the price action has lost any little bit of profit that there was. So we'll keep evaluating, and the L9 is still going to obviously stay running because that's at a cheaper power rate. It's hosted and still making a ton of money, so obviously that will stay on. I'll probably still leave the Bitcoin miners on. I'll pay out of pocket to run those guys, but yeah, pretty much a lot of the other stuff will be getting shut down. So anyway, till next video, we'll catch you later.